Hiya, it's Christian from the Kipper system. When we were young, we got uh we mostly took in a narrative about the world that uh the world is a story of two groups of humans. There are the right humans and the wrong humans. And the right humans are all the humans who have, thankfully, all the right ideas. Um, you know, uh when we were younger, they were uh well, I don't want to talk about the specific groups because that's gonna um, get into the weeds that are not what this uh, sort of message is about. But whatever uh, whatever group slash belief system we were a part of, they were the ones who were the right humans, and then the ones outside of them were the wrong humans, and um, there's this idea that the wrong humans are doing bad things. Uh, they don't know that they're doing bad things. They mean well, but uh, they misunderstand. They don't have the right ideas, and so uh, if we share our ideas, which are the right ideas, then the wrong humans will uh, eventually all accept our correct ideas, and uh, then we'll all be right humans, and no one will fight anymore. And that was sort of the uh, the end game that we got from like society and sort of political and political adjacent areas. Um, and we've spent it's one of the first things that we remember, like really taking time to seriously contemplate, is how when there is a difference in belief, uh in uh what is felt as an important difference, as a significant difference, um that how do you resolve that with the other? Either how do you consistently change their mind to the right belief, or how do you have a complete relationship with them without sharing the same beliefs? And you know this is something that we started contemplating uh in our very early teens, because that's around the time that we started diverging from our family's uh, belief system, from that we grew up with, um, and we have found that we've found mostly that it is a lost cause in all except for some very rare and particular scenarios, um, to try and press someone at all on any particular kind of belief. And it is also impossible for every human or even a, you know, slightly large group of individuals to share significantly the same informational pool and perceptual models with each other. But that's the thing, is that there are groups formed around that. There are groups that self-organize around that sort of thing. So there's still a lot to this problem. I mean, that we don't know. That's new to us. That realization just now, that was new. But basically, the past few, well, past few years, but especially the past few months of our life have been characterized by the question of, you know, in the case that uh everybody will not always share the same set of ideas, that humans will not share the same set of ideas, that even small groups will not all share the same set of ideas, that no two individuals will ever completely agree, then what? Then what are we to do? Because our morality, as we were taught, and it feels like the morality of this culture, is heavily based on agreement. It's based on, we have to see the situation the same way, to where we both come to the same evaluations of what is the right thing to do here. And, if you aren't like that, then I don't feel safe around you, or I feel like you're uh causing harm, things like that. And these are, like, you're you might be saying to yourself, like, well, they are causing harm. They do have the wrong idea. And we're not going to say that there are not, like, more and less accurate belief systems, and more or less truthful beliefs. We're not going to say that you know both sides of every argument are actually equivalent. But it is something that uh the perception of the other side being wrong is symmetric, no matter what side you're on, more or less. And if you ever stop considering that you may be wrong, then that's the fastest way to um start being wrong, because you stop learning, and then the world moves on. um So, oh, sorry. So, if we will always disagree with each other, then how do we live together? Because we have to live together. We could be more or less separate, but we're all on this planet, and it's well enough to organize by who you agree with, but you're gonna run into other groups at some point in some way. And this is one thing that we can see where a ethic of following the heart um, could help to resolve that, because when you follow the heart, when you listen to your intuition and feelings, and let me clarify what I mean by following the heart. I mean, there exists a place within you that takes in and considers all information and results in a formless truth that is able to guide your actions. And we call this the intuition, when talking about following your heart. This is what we were talking about. And this place, once you find it, you can listen to it and be guided by it. We have been largely guided by this feeling for several years now. And to find this feeling, it is, I don't know, I haven't tried before to describe how to find this feeling, so I don't know how helpful this is, but what I'm thinking is to explain how to find it is to find this feeling, you have to find the place within yourself that is never dishonest. To find that, you when you are doing something that is sort of self-deceptive, that is uh or I guess deceptive in any way, but um self-deceptive is especially vital to uh catch, I guess, and to realize. But um or no, it would be important. Well, I'm not sure. Again, this is something that I'm just coming up with now. I've tested this. This is thinking back to how we found that place, and based on that. But anyways, find what while you're having some deceptive or dishonest thought about something, um that is, these happen all the time, or all sorts of defense mechanisms and coping mechanisms that involve dishonesty to oneself or to another. But uh when you are being dishonest, the place in you that still in that moment knows the truth and knows that you are being dishonest, that is the same place that um where your intuition forms. And uh acting based on this is, by this culture's and society's standards, completely insane. You're not following uh, any sort of protocol or accepted model or set of rules or regulations. Um, you're not even thinking things through. You are just you get a feeling that you should do something and then you do it. It is a completely insane way to act by the way that this society thinks about sanity and insanity. Um, and uh, we're almost certain that we would not be allow ourselves to be guided by this feeling uh, to nearly this degree, if at all, if we hadn't um, already uh, if we hadn't found that intuition and the idea to let it guide us in a time where we were uh, a little more crazy and a little less self-aware, I guess. Um, a little less aware of how crazy that is. That seems specifically, and just in general. Um, and uh, we, we started following that feeling, and it led us to a lot of weird places that we wouldn't have gone otherwise. But every single time, it was uh, something that we ended up seeing the benefit of and the reason behind. And I I can't remember a time that feeling that our intuition has ever let us down. So to us, because we have the experience with it, because we have the familiarity and the trust built up, to us it's very comfortable living this way. But to someone who's used to living more due to the forms and protocols of human society and whatnot, and just generally using like calculation and logic and all that to make decisions and um just sort of making the calculated as best decision every time, you know, uh which is I guess how we imagine. Okay, not probably not most humans actually do act like that, but uh it feels like the way that you're expected to act um on the internet, question mark, to appear reputable. I don't know. Uh but this whole thing has been far less coherent than I expected. But I I hope it if somebody's watching this, I hope that you're getting something out of it. I hope that this is helpful. But yeah, the when that is one thing that we can say uh a plus for following your intuition uh without taking into account without any familiarity with it or anything is that it it resolves the issue of sort of moral agreement being based on uh practical and uh perceptual agreement, because when you act guided by the intuition, then you aren't acting based from your uh perceptions exactly. um like your perceptions are still involved, but the heart of the action is coming from somewhere more cosmic, and uh it might it might go very starkly against your perceptions. um and when it does that, those ones are scarier. They're harder to follow, but they just the same have never let us down. And if you are one of those more um logical kinds, then you're probably pulling your hair out right now uh about how bad of an idea this is and how chaotic that would make everything. um and all we could really say is like we wouldn't expect you to think that it would be a good idea until you have experience with with it yourself. um until you have your own familiarity with your intuition and how it it leads and guides you. Because it doesn't it could uh lead us to more outlandish things more often, but you know most of the time, most of what we do does fall into the sort of quote unquote common sense or reasonable thing to do. But um, it's really something that you just have to have experience and familiarity with yourself and to build trust in order to start to see the benefit of its guidance. And so I guess this is all to say that, like, right now the way we're looking at the world is less a, is a, that the problems and perils of modern human society and life on Earth are not caused by like a disagreement where one side needs to change what they're thinking and how they look at things, and is more caused by humans misunderstanding and mishandling matters of the heart. Uh, and just sort of having no a complete lack of trust for uh feelings and intuition and uh more ethereal things. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right descriptor, but things of that ilk. Um, and that, I mean, through not just through like following your intuition, also through like, you know, processing your emotions and through communication and through all that sort of stuff. We feel like that is, you know, I mean, those things are coming up in recent years, and it feels like it's humans, uh, particularly Western humans, coming to a new understanding of the heart. When uh, there have been a lot of toxic ideas about and around those things for hundreds of years. And so I guess we think that uh, the the way out of all of this like conflict, um, just sort of like relational level, uh, interpersonal conflict in humans. We think that the way out of that is going to be something that uh well, it will be unexpected in uh timing and nature, but we think it will look like renewed respect for self and other, and reconciliation, and a new way of looking at the world that is more open to holding multiple possible truths at the same time and appreciating multiple perspectives on the same ideas. So, yeah, that was pretty rambly. I don't, I honestly don't feel like I like how that video turned out. It's hard to tell because I'm saying it and not watching it, but it felt like it just took way too long for me to say what I needed to say. But uh, I hope I'm wrong. I hope that was a decent video. I hope it was good to watch or listen to or whatever. Yeah, this is the uh, this is the second attempt at recording this video. So it was a little. The first one was even more meandering. But yeah, it's just that's what's been on our heart today and lately. It's still something that I'm thinking about a lot, but I've done enough talking about it, so uh, I'll talk to you later, I guess. You're not gonna talk to me. I'll talk to you, unless you leave a comment, I guess.